Welcome everybody to a very special video log where I'm going to show you how I make a video. So first off, we're going to import all of my audio and video files. Everything that's currently there previously was from an existing video, be it text media or stuff like that. And right now what I'm working on is just the intro section. Every single one of my videos has some sort of musical intro, and for this instance I'm doing Megaman Super Fighting Robot Coal Man stage. And so I'm taking the gameplay portion of the input media that I just put in, and I'm looking for good points of interest, which look good when placed with high-paced music. I kind of run through it a little bit to make sure that it actually flows well, and I want to capture exactly what encapsulates the entire level. And then that's pretty much the whole process of making these intro things. The first time I make a new intro for a new play series, that's what takes the longest. But once I have the template down, which is, as you can see, I made a mistake there, it is part 7. But once I have the template down, then making the intro for subsequent videos in that play series is a lot easier. Now this time I actually have an overlay that I created outside of the actual program using GIMP, and I'm trying to shrink the video to fit the opening that I made in the overlay. Now as you can see, I'm working with two different types of audio file tracks. The top track is the actual game video audio that was recorded using Fraps. Now, using Cam Studio, I actually recorded just the audio for the bottom track, the one that says minus 7.7 decibels. That is my voice. So I actually did two simultaneous recordings at the same time, recording two different audio inputs. Now, that can be a little taxing on your computer, and I understand that, but thankfully my computer can handle this type of stuff. And the reason why I have those two together, as you can see, I'm actually bringing certain things together. I want full freedom of control, not just in volume, but also how I sound in the video as well. Because sometimes I have unnecessary gaps in my speech, or sometimes I sniff way too loud, or I clear my throat, or maybe I have a brain fart and there's like a huge gap of time between the beginning of a sentence and the end of it. So this is also where I have the freedom to alter as I see fit, and even change around full paragraphs of voice and train of thought. I can just completely move it around to make it more sense than at the time when I actually recorded it. So I like having that freedom, which is why I have the dual sound audio bars that you see here. Now I literally go through the entire audio, because the game audio is pretty much more or less perfect. Because that was taken from Fraps, and that was exactly as advertised, you know. You're not going to get any sort of pops or clicks or background noise with that. So what I do here, as you're seeing me do, is I'm actually literally going back and forth and taking all the pops and clicks or anything that could potentially distract the viewer audio-wise from enjoying the video. Now what I just did there was I had a death during my play run, and normally I don't want viewers to waste their time watching me get back to where I was. So what I do is I cut the audio and video in between, and then bunch the two together, and then merge them using a transition which is built into Sony Vegas Pro. And that way, you know, see, I'm already working it right now. I'm also doing the death counter, which I will explain in just a moment. But this is just a fun way to kind of get people up to speed, so that way no time is wasted at all when viewing the video after a death, if that made any sense. And here I am doing it again. I usually go back about 2 seconds forward and 2 seconds backward, so we have a 2-second transition overlap. It's just an arbitrary number I've picked up. It seems to work pretty well. So here I am back to editing another death in. I actually had quite a lot of deaths in this particular play series. But while we're going through that, as you can see up top there, in the upper middle, that is where all my input files are. I have a lot of text media, at least for this particular play series I do. Most of the text media typically generates from the actual intro, the musical intro, where I have the various sentences coming in from the left or from the right of the screen telling you exactly what type of challenge this is. In this case, Buster Only, no ETank challenge by Retro Challenge Gamer. And that pretty much encompasses most of the text media. The multitude of ones that you see here and the ones that I will be generating shortly will be coming from the death tally, which I'll be discussing next. Now the death tally, this is just something extra I felt was fun and that I wanted to do for viewers, because I don't know what it is, but viewers really like to see players struggle in trying to beat a game, and like multiple death counts and just viewing outtakes is just either hilarious or highly entertaining for people. You know what? That's okay. And I'm going to sincerely cater to that. So, obviously, for each new clip, because what I did was, of course, after I gamed over, I had to start at the beginning of the level, and I'm not going to record the entire level after I've proven that I can beat it once with Buster Only, right? There's no point trying to do that again. So, I start the recording back at the boss door. Now, since I don't have the easy stage select screen to help me figure out the edges of the picture, I have to shrink the picture into the overlay opening as best as I can using the edges of the textures in the actual boss door room. And sometimes that can get a little hard if some edges of certain boss door rooms are just nothing but black, which has happened before. But yes, I pretty much cut all the way down to the very end of where I actually die, and then I pick out a perfect point where I just show the player a small snippet of the battle and then my death. I mean, there's no reason to actually show, I don't know, 5-10 seconds before the actual failure. I just feel like that's wasting everybody's time. So here it is, me again, just rearranging it using the borders of the actual room. May not be perfect compared to the previous clip that I just edited, but it's better than nothing. Back to the original topic. I don't want to bore people too much, because if I do a multiples of 10 seconds of every outtake, this is going to be a very long video. So I'd be more like a couple seconds here at most. I mean, you kind of get the idea, and the growing tally of deaths just balloons, and it's just super funny. So, let's talk about time. How much time does it take to make this entire video from beginning to end? Well, if you include the backdrop images, the overlay that I was talking about with Proto Man, and any sort of music intro arrangement that I do preliminary for the first video, which then I can later use in subsequent videos in the series, that takes about 30 minutes. Just creating the new art and the new intro and finding the right music and everything, that takes about 30 minutes. The total recording time for this particular stage, Coalman's stage, was about 43 minutes to finally beat him. Now the audio-video prep work to figure out where I should cut the actual video, which ones I should do, things like that, that takes about 5 minutes. Total editing time, which you see me doing here right now, actually encompassed about real-life 24 minutes. And then this video actually took about 60 minutes to render once I sent it to the rendering process. So all said and done, from beginning to end, if I were to create the Proto Man overlay and do the music arrangement from scratch, this video technically would have taken about 1 hour and 58 minutes. So basically 2 hours for one video. So that is something else. So getting back to the final product here. Yep, we are done with the whole death count thing, and now it's just ending the video by editing, editing everything together so that I sound better than I actually did at the time of recording. It can get pretty tedious. Some of those longer videos, like some of the Sakura Wars videos of 30 minutes or more, doing this type of audio work is very annoying and, again, I'll say tedious, to the point that I actually put it off for a long time before I actually get around to doing it, because it's just really boring, this whole process, this actual part here. But in the end, I feel it helps the overall product, and that is why I continue to do it. We're nearing the end here. And then, of course, I make sure I'm 2 seconds out, so I have a good 2-second fade out for the entire video. Ends it on a nice note there. And with that, that is the entire product. That is all the pieces that go together to make the video of Part 7 Mega Man Super Fighting Robot Coalman Stage.